Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video on the channel. So in today's video, guys, I am going to be talking about why the GV5 revamp needs to happen. Now, even though at this current moment in time, it doesn't necessarily have to happen, with games such as Rensselaer coming out, I feel like it is somewhat of a good thing to consider. Now, when I talk about GV5, I actually don't literally mean like a full revamp when it comes to features, vehicle models, and all of that sort of stuff. Obviously, if GV5 were to come out, we'd probably want the current vehicles that need to be remodeled to be remodeled. However, the main thing that I think GV5 needs, if it is to ever come out, is a revamped map. Now, compared to a lot of other roleplay games such as Southwest Florida and Rensselaer County, a lot of people, including myself, have noticed, and this has been for months now as well, but especially with the release of Rensselaer County, people have been noticing how bland Greenville's map actually is. And primarily the reason for that is because that Greenville's map is heavily sort of based on the real life version of Greenville. And even though personally I think this is okay, and I do like the fact that they have realism into like added into it, I guess, in my opinion at least, I wouldn't honestly mind if they moved away from the realism aspect of it a little bit at least, and sort of added their own like spin on things, like for example adding more vegetation and stuff, and also adding different road variants such as overpasses and highways and stuff like that, just for some examples. Like, I mean, they don't even have to fully like remove this map and build a whole new one, but they could just make small changes like that would substantially change the map and how it looks, and just make it a lot more interesting and cool in general. And like I said earlier, GV5 doesn't have to be as massive of a revamp as GV4 was, but I feel like it could just be like a little like nice refresh. And I mean, if anything, Greenville doesn't even have to like sort of name it GV5, but they could basically just make like a sort of, I guess, map revamp update, because I think that's definitely what Greenville's been missing out on for a long time now. Because even though, don't get me wrong, GV4's map has improved a ton since GV4 actually initially released, it's still lacking in a lot of areas. And I mean, I was speaking to other YouTubers and just people who play Greenville in general, and a lot of them agreed with me on this. And I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that Greenville has to completely like change, you know, how the map is, since, you know, obviously one of the cool things about Greenville is that, you know, it's one of those few roleplay games on Roblox that are sort of like set in a smaller town. But even when it comes to things such as like vegetation and like highways and stuff like that, they could definitely consider adding all that. Even possibly an expansion into the Appleton area of Wisconsin, since for those of you guys who don't know, that's actually a relatively decent sized city or town next to Greenville, which I definitely feel like they could consider adding in some shape or form, especially if they don't want to be changing the main map too much. Then they could definitely consider that. I feel like the only reason why they probably haven't really extended into Appleton that much is because they probably don't want to end up changing the name of the game to Appleton instead of Greenville. But at this point, I don't think people would mind. And I mean, ever since a couple months ago when Greenville announced that they were going to start doing, you know, sort of, I guess, like a map revamp in a sense, or just adding more stuff to the map, people have been mentioning an Appleton revamp for a long time now, but Greenville just hasn't really gotten to it. And the Appleton side of the map, which is the part of the side of the map that I'm driving on right now, is still relatively empty and could definitely be worked upon a ton. Also, in general, I feel like having a sort of big update or revamp like this could just bring a lot more hype to Greenville again overall, and this could also be a good head start for them to kick back into doing like a bi-weekly update schedule again, since when GV4 came out, the game absolutely blew up compared to what it was at GV3, and the bi-weekly update schedule that they had at the time kept that popularity up. And it was only basically when they stopped having that update schedule when the game kind of dipped back down to where it is now. So this could be like sort of a second chance at sort of maintaining that popularity, I guess. But yeah, so I mean, tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below. I feel like it's a very interesting topic that hasn't really been brought up in a while, but I feel like it's definitely something that GV could consider in the future, since it's something that a lot of people do want to see. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.